Hi, guys. Very welcome back to the Fantasy Chancer for the final time this season. I am coming to you not live, but pre recorded just after watching Tyson Fury there and Isaac. And great old fight. Having a couple of beers tonight. Totally slipped my mind I need to do this thing one more time, but here we are. And I'm going to take a look at what I done last week, firstly. So last week I finished on a total of 107 points, which I needed because the previous game week I was kind of slipping a little bit. And I had Verbogen in goals for 6 points, Van der Ven for 12, Branthwaite for 6, Saliba for 9. So clean sheets across the back four, which really helped me. In the midfield, then I had Bukayo Saka. Unfortunately, didn't deliver. Cole Palmer on a double game week round delivered 14. Kai Havertz with 6, and Phil Foden with 11. Dominic Solanke, of course, within the goals again last week on 6 points. Ollie Watkins on 5, and Erling Haaland captain on 30 points, which is like the story of a lot of people's game weeks and just their general consensus this year with the Erling Haaland captain has paid off for people. And, he's been absolutely fantastic in terms of numbers again this year. So we're going to have a look at the league now, and we're going to go into the upper tier. So at the moment, going into tomorrow, the final game week round, I am on 2406, and Jeff is on 2383, and Sam is on 2375, and Mel is on 2273. And Mel, best of luck to you going over to the final game at the Emirates as well. It's not looking likely that we're going to win the league, but best wishes to you anyway. So Mel had a good week there in 130. And it's pretty close. Like any of those four, I think, can probably win it still, pending on the captain choice and, of course, like who's in their team. Of course, that's the whole basis of this thing. But that's where we're at going into the final week. I'd just like to thank Niall and Darren at the upper tier for the facility to run this show this year. I've had a lot of things going on now the last couple of weeks, which they know about. So it's kind of difficult to fit everything in at the moment, but here we are going into the last game of the season, and this is what I have went for. So I've went for Verbogen in goals. I've kept them in. Manchester United at home. Manchester United have been very, very poor overall this year, I feel. And there is a chance with De Zerbi to go out here with a win. And of course, Roberto De Zerbi is leaving Brighton. What the future holds for him, we do not know. So Van der Ven there with Sheffield United away. Spurs really don't have anything to play for after what happened last week against Arsenal, and of course Villa securing the top four. Virgil van Dijk, massive game, not in terms of anything because Liverpool are finishing third, but in terms of Jurgen Klopp and his final game of not the season, but his final game ever for Liverpool. So huge magnitude on that one from an emotional standpoint for Liverpool. So I'd expect a Liverpool victory and a clean sheet there. William Saliba, Everton at home. Arsenal are going to be in for a tricky fixture on the last game of the season, and it's not likely that Man City are going to drop any points against West Ham. However, Sean Dyche has done a fantastic job this year with Everton, and Arsenal really have to be on their game and at least beat Everton just to put that little bit of pressure on Manchester City, which they're probably not going to feel, let's be honest. But anyway, difficult game for Arsenal. Not going to be won by wide margins. Everton are very good at the back. So William Saliba, I'm confident he can keep a clean sheet, but Arsenal won't be getting a lot of goals against this Everton organised team. In the middle of the park then, Mo Salah, possibly his last game for Liverpool as well as Jurgen Klopp. So there's going to be emotion at stake there. It's going to be high tempo. I think Liverpool will put Wolves to the sword tomorrow, and I think they'll win. Cole Palmer, Chelsea, absolutely brilliant the last few weeks. Thanks to this man all season, really. So if they're going to pick up some points against Bournemouth, this man is going to be at the middle of it. Kai Havertz, done very well for Arsenal this year, considering Jesus and Eddie, not really strikers, nor as Havertz, but in the second half of the season, he's delivered. He's been very good for Arsenal. Phil Foden, one of the players of the season, absolutely. He'll be on point tomorrow against West Ham. I can only see a Manchester City victory, which is why I went with Erling Haaland captain, Ollie Watkins, and Dominic Solanke also. Dominic Solanke maybe have a chance with a goal against Chelsea, but I expect Chelsea to finish off the season strong. And Ollie Watkins, Crystal Palace, that's hard to know because Crystal Palace are pretty good at the moment, and Villa have been secured in fourth, so they may rotate a little bit. Who knows? So I'm not missing too much there on the bench, and that's pretty much what I'm going for this week. And before I sign off for the season, I'd like to thank Niall and Darren again for their hospitality on the Upper Tier podcast on YouTube this year. Next year, I said it last year that next year is going to be even bigger, but this year is going to be even bigger for the Upper Tier. Boys are going to be here with pro wrestling stuff throughout the summer, and they're also going to be covering the European Championships, which is really good. Unfortunately, Ireland didn't make the cut, but can Gareth Southgate win the Euros with the most disposable at a high-class England team that there's ever been in the tournament? He really needs to deliver. Will he deliver? Find out the lads' views on the Upper Tier podcast on YouTube. I'd like to thank everyone for their time this season, and we'll probably do a review show in a couple of weeks, maybe get a couple of guests on, and we'll discuss the fantasy football. But for now, guys, thank you very much. Congratulations to Manchester City for winning the league, and we'll go again next year. Cheers, guys.